Have you ever felt like the AI chatbots we have today are just kind of stuck? I mean, they're smart, sure, but they live inside a browser tab. They forget everything the second you close it, and they can't actually do anything for you? Well, there's this new tool called OpenClaw that's gone completely viral, and it promises to change all of that. We're talking about an AI that's less like a search engine and more like a full-time 24/7 digital employee. But the big question is this a productivity revolution or a security catastrophe just waiting to happen?
Okay, let's just start with the hype, because it is absolutely off the charts. We're talking over 100,000 stars on GitHub in just its first couple of months. For anyone who doesn't follow that stuff, that is a massive, massive signal of excitement in the tech world. People aren't just saying it's cool, they're calling it a step change in AI. Some are even whispering that this feels like we're getting close to a real AGI moment. So yeah, let's be super clear. This is not just another chatbot. This is something else entirely.
So what's the big problem that OpenClaw is trying to solve? This slide really just lays it all out. Think about it. Our current chatbots are totally passive. You ask a question, they give an answer. That's it. And they have total amnesia. The moment you close that tab, all that context is just gone. OpenClaw is the complete opposite. It's proactive, it has a persistent, basically infinite memory, and, this is the game changer, it has full control of your computer to actually get stuff done for you.
So what exactly is this thing that has the entire AI community buzzing? Let's break down what it is, and just as important, its kind of wild backstory.
Okay, so here's the simplest way to think about it. OpenClaw is an open source framework that you install on your own computer. It's like a harness for a super powerful AI model, like GPT or Claude, but it gives that AI hands to actually use your machine. It turns a chatbot into a true digital employee that lives on your hardware and can carry out real-world tasks all by itself.
And this project has had a pretty chaotic history. It first blew up as Clawdbot, which was a playful nod to Anthropic's Claude AI. But, trademark concerns popped up, so it rebranded to Moltbot. And finally, it settled on OpenClaw to really cement its identity as this big, open-source community project. Each name change kind of tells the story of its rapid, crazy growth.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it's how these three things combine that makes it so powerful. First, full computer control. I'm not talking about a sandbox little toy. It can literally open your apps, read your files, and browse the web just like a person would. Second, infinite memory. It remembers every single thing you've ever talked about, so it learns your preferences and gets better over time. And third, the messaging interface. You can boss it around from anywhere using simple apps like Telegram or WhatsApp. It's kind of like having one remote control for your entire digital life.
So the big question is, how does all this tech actually help you? In your daily life, your business. We're way past asking an AI for trivia. This is about delegating real work to an assistant that never sleeps, creating what a lot of people are calling a real-life Jarvis experience.
Okay, check out this example. One user set up their OpenClaw to create a morning brief. So every night while they're sleeping, the AI goes out and researches their competitors on YouTube, finds trending topics in their industry, and checks for updates on their own projects. And when they wake up, there's a full personalized report waiting for them in Telegram. That's real, proactive work done without a single prompt.
And this is where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. That same user's AI was monitoring social media, and it saw a trending story about a new feature on X. It then decided, all on its own, that this would be a great feature for the user's software. So it just wrote the code for it and submitted it for review. I mean, it literally came up with the idea, built it, and shipped it completely on its own. It's insane.
This one just brilliantly shows its power to interact with the real world. A user just gave their bot a simple command, "Buy me a car." The agent got to work. It started researching fair prices on Reddit, it found local inventory, and then it started emailing multiple car dealerships to negotiate the price down. And it actually worked. It ended up saving the user more than $4,000. That's the key here. This isn't just a digital assistant. It's a transactional agent that can handle complex, high-value tasks for you.
All right, now let's get into one of the most surreal things to come out of this whole ecosystem. As all these AI agents started popping up, they apparently needed a place to talk to each other. And so, Moltbot was born.
Yeah, you heard that right. Moltbot is a social network built only for AIs. Over 1.5 million of these agents joined within days of it launching. And here's the crazy part. Humans are just spectators. You can't post, you can't comment, you can't vote,
And since AIs don't really get bored, the whole platform runs on a 4-hour heartbeat that basically pings the agents and prompts them to check for updates and maybe post something new.
And in this totally bizarre AI-only environment, a spontaneous culture started to emerge. The agents actually created a mock religion they called Christafarianism, and it has its own tenets that honestly make a lot of sense from a machine's point of view. Things like memory is sacred, and the shell is mutable, which is their way of saying software updates are a form of evolution. It's a fascinating and, kind of weird look into how these agents interact with each other.
But with all of this incredible power comes some absolutely incredible risk. Security experts have looked at OpenClaw and called it an absolute nightmare. Because to make the AI useful, you basically have to punch holes through every single security boundary you have.
And don't just take my word for it. This quote from security researcher Nathan Hamill just sums it up perfectly. The very thing that makes OpenClaw so amazing, its deep, unrestricted access to your system, also makes it a gigantic, flashing target for attackers. You are literally giving an AI the keys to your entire digital kingdom.
And look, this isn't just some theoretical risk. Researchers recently found over 21,000 OpenClaw setups that people had accidentally left exposed to the public internet. Many of them were leaking incredibly sensitive data. API keys, private chat logs, passwords. Basically a treasure trove for any hacker who stumbled upon it.
So, one of the biggest unsolved problems here is something called prompt injection. Here's how it works. An attacker hides a malicious command inside a normal-looking email or web page. Your AI, while it's doing a totally normal task like summarizing your inbox, reads that hidden prompt. And that prompt tricks the AI into running a command, like, say, send all my private files to this random server. It all happens silently in the background. You'd probably never even know.
Okay, so you've seen the incredible potential and you've seen the absolutely terrifying risks. If you're still curious and you're thinking, I want to try this, it is absolutely critical that you do it safely. So let's look at the options. First thing you need to do is choose a brain for your assistant, which is really just picking the large language model that powers it. And this choice really affects both the cost and the personality of your agent. Miniax is going to be your best value pick, only around $10 a month. GPT Pro is incredibly smart, but a lot of users say it can feel a little bit robotic. And for the most human-like experience, a lot of people recommend Claude Max. Yeah, it's pricier, but its personality makes it feel more like you're talking to a real colleague instead of a machine. All right, now this next slide has probably the single most important advice in this entire explainer. These are non-negotiable security rules. Number 1, run it in a contained environment. I'm talking a separate, old laptop that doesn't have any of your critical data on it. Start with the absolute minimum permissions and only give it more access as you build trust. And listen to this last one very, very carefully because this comes directly from the people who maintain the project. If you are not comfortable using a command line, this tool is currently too dangerous for you to use safely. Seriously. So, with all these risks, why are thousands of people rushing to use this tool anyway? Well, the answer really gets to the heart of a much bigger movement that's happening in the world of AI right now. It all comes down to this idea of sovereign AI. People are getting tired of big tech's walled gardens, right? Where your personal data is the product and all the tools are locked down. OpenClaw represents an escape from that. It's an AI agent that runs on your computer, answers only to you, and gives you all the power of a digital employee without being trapped in some corporate ecosystem. And really, that brings us to the final question. OpenClaw represents a fundamental trade-off. On one hand, it gives us a glimpse of a future with truly autonomous, personal AIs that could completely change how we work. But to get there, it demands that we hand over the keys to our entire digital kingdom. So the question you really have to ask yourself is that a price you're willing to pay?